Hello, beautiful. Welcome to Mambo Kazi TV, your platform for everything women's health. My name is Fadzi and I'm the founder of this platform. If you are interested in natural, holistic approaches to your womanhood, you are in the right place. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications so that you won't miss it when I upload a new video. If you enjoy the material that we're talking about today, make sure that you like this video by giving it a thumbs up and then share it with your other lady friends. I'm trying my best to get this information out to as many women as is possible, and I could really use your help. So if you have girlfriends who could benefit from what we're discussing here, make sure that you pull them into the tribe so that together we can get healthier. Our topic of discussion today is sleep and women's health. Sleep and women's health. Let's get into it. If you've been watching the material that I've been putting out on this channel, you realize that I really love to make sure that the basics are in place. That's because as a health coach, I do understand the power of setting a good foundation for ourselves. When our foundation is strong, it actually gives us the ability to create a sustainable, happy, healthy lifestyle. Sustainable being the key word, because we don't want to create a healthy lifestyle that we cannot sustain long term. And so when we get our basics in place, that makes it possible for us to do. One of those basics could be nutritious foods. If you are having nutritious foods on a regular basis, that means your foundation is strong. That pillar of your foundation is in good shape. Another good basic that we're going to discuss today is good quality sleep. Sleep is so important for our health. While we are sleeping, we might be knocked out and we're like, oh, I'm in dreamland, but our bodies are actually doing so much during that time. Our bodies, they are resting and they are restoring, prepping us for the day that is coming. Our bodies, especially our brains, they are processing so much information that we were taking in during the day, and they're placing it in the right places so that those things become easier for us to access. And so if you want your cognitive function to improve, but you don't get good sleep, those things are not going to happen. So sleep is genuinely so important. For us women in particular, sleep is incredible because it helps us to balance our hormones. A lot of things that we deal with, especially something, say, like weight gain, for example. I always say to people who are trying to lose weight, if you don't have good sleep as part of that program that you're looking at, if you're only looking at the food but you don't look at your sleep, you might not actually find the results that you're looking for, because if you don't get good sleep, your hormones are all over the place. You don't actually have a good balance to them. So here on the channel, we love to make sure that we're doing everything we possibly can to maintain a healthy balance in our hormones. And that means that we have to look at our sleep. How well are we sleeping? What I love about bad sleep is that you don't have to wait too long to realize its effects. If you have a bad night tonight, tomorrow you are going to feel it in some shape or form. You might be cranky the following day, right? You might feel like you're just snapping at everybody around you because you didn't sleep well. You might be moody. You might feel really tired and exhausted and you're dragging your feet around the whole day. For me, I know for sure if I don't get good sleep the following day, I'm super indecisive. And I think that's just because my brain didn't, get enough time to rest. And so as information is coming to me the following day after a bad night's sleep, it all just feels like it's too much for me. So my decision making just is not as sharp as it usually is, or I tend to be kind of like confused. If you have brain fog, you might want to look into your sleep. So you do know how you feel after a bad night of sleep. I don't have to teach you about all of that. You could tell me 10 effects that you feel the following day if you don't sleep well enough. The question always is, if you know the importance of making sure that you get to bed on time, how come you're still not doing it? So to turn things around, firstly, you need to understand your own particular deal with sleep and what's hindering you from actually getting to bed on time. So take a look at yourself and see what your habits are. For me, for example, once I started investigating myself a little bit, I realized, oh my God, I get lost in my work. I get lost in my work. So I love what I do so much. I love creating content. I love creating these videos. It's just something that I'm passionate about. And once I get into it, I can lose track of time. And so for me to actually make sure that I'm getting to bed on time, I have to set an alarm that's gonna help me get out of that zone. Because if I don't, I can then look at the watch once I'm ready and realize, oh my God, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and I need to be up like really soon. So to make sure that I'm avoiding that kind of stuff, I have to set an alarm so that it reminds me, hey, it's time to wind down for bed. And that's been so helpful for me. I don't know what you need to do in your specific case, as everybody's different, but just start looking at your own life and what's going on with you, and then what habits, what small little things do you need to put in place to help you to make sure that you start getting to bed on time. It doesn't matter how tiny that thing is, as tiny as setting an alarm, it's something that could actually long-term be life-changing. So make sure that you take it seriously, all right? For some people to turn this around, that they, usually are not getting good quality sleep, they might need to attach a bigger goal to this than just sleep itself. Because I know that as human beings, we might work harder if we understand the impact that something has on something else. So if you're that kind of person that it's not enough for you to just tell yourself, you know what, if I get good quality sleep, that's great for my health, it doesn't convince you enough to actually follow through, you might want to attach a bigger goal to that. So you might want to attach something like, for you to actually fulfill the dreams that you have for yourself and for your life, for you to be on purpose with the things that you want to do, for you to serve others well. Especially as women, we love to be of service to other people. For us to actually do that well, we have to make sure that we're as healthy as is possible. And for a healthy life, sleep is just non-negotiable. And so if that is what you're after, a better service, being more on purpose, living your dreams, how are you going to make sure that through your sleep you are going to get that? Because if you compromise your sleep, then you're not as effective in your waking time, right? To do those things to the best of your ability. So look at your life and see, what goals do I really want to fulfill, and how can I use or leverage the amount of sleep or the quality of the sleep that I get to actually help me to fuel these things that I want to do, to push me even further with the things that I have before me. For us as women, because of our menstrual cycles, our hormone levels are fluctuating from week to week to week. That could affect our sleep in some of those weeks. So you want to take a look at yourself and see where in your cycle sleep gets affected. For me, in the past, it's turned around now, thankfully, because I worked on it. But in the past, in week 3, during the luteal phase, I found that I was having trouble sleeping. That was also the same week that I started to get PMS. And so once I realized, okay, this is the issue for me, I started to do something about it. I started to make sure that in that week, because I needed to nurse myself to bed a lot longer than I would normally in other weeks, I stopped scheduling something social. So I didn't want to be out until too late, because I knew that I would get back and then I wouldn't be able to fall asleep as fast. So for some people, it could be that you need to not schedule something social for that week, or maybe you need to make sure that in that week that you're being affected, you're not spending too much time, on your screens. Maybe you need to reduce the amount of TV that you're watching for that week. Maybe you might want to use, things such as drinking chamomile tea, or using lavender essential oil, or using my personal favorite, lavender peace essential oil, to help you to fall asleep. Everybody is different, so you want to look at your own case and see where you need to make a change, and then commit to making that change. Don't only think about the quantity of sleep that you're getting. By that I mean how long your sleep is. For most people, a healthy amount of sleep is anything between 7 to 9 hours. Also think about the quality of the sleep that you are getting, because that is very important too. If your sleep is too shallow and you're not getting deep enough sleep on most nights of the week, you are not getting that rest that you really need. So you want to check and see your environment. Are you sleeping in a room where there's not too much light while you're asleep, and that everything is just like blacked out to just allow your body to be able to sink really deep into sleep? Take a look and see. Is it too loud around you where you're sleeping? If it is, how can you make sure that it's quieter and more conducive for you to get really good quality sleep? All right, that's it for our episode this week. Make sure that you're getting good quality and good quantity sleep. So I want you to come into the comments, my beautiful Mambokadzi, and tell me, how are you with your sleep? Are you prioritizing it or not? What's happening with you with that? Write it in the comments. If you are needing help with tips and tools and techniques that you can use to get better quality sleep, also write that in the comments and I'll get at you. All right. If you haven't already gone over to mambokadzi.com to download the beautiful free e-guide that I wrote for you called Not Today PMS, make sure that you do so. This guide is so amazing. It tells you ways in which you can start eradicating menstrual cramps and PMS. And so if you are wanting that for your life, and I'm telling you, once you start experiencing less issues around your period, it is a beautiful thing. So go to the website, download this e-guide, and use it to help you to create a healthier menstrual cycle. Come on over to IG at im.mambokadzi. I'm over there every single day. If you are actually wanting to see how the things that we talk about here on the channel are put into practice, I have all these little snippets of things that I post on IG to help you with that. So if you're wanting to know how to translate this information into practical things you can do every day, make sure that you're following me on IG at im.mambokadzi. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I really appreciate you. Please share this with your other friends and let's grow the community together. I'll see you again right here on Mambokadzi TV next week. Take care of you and see you soon.